Здравствуйте, меня зовут Вера Алексеевна Полякова-Норвуд. Добро пожаловать на урок русского языка. Welcome to our Russian class. And today we'll continue talking about where people live. And we will also talk about things that we find around us in our everyday lives. During our previous class, we started talking about where the Russian people live. And you remember that the word dom serves different purposes in the Russian language. We can call an individual house a dom, and we also call a big apartment building a dom. But if you live in an apartment, in an individual unit, what's the word for that individual unit in an apartment complex? Квартира. Квартира. Дом. Квартира. But квартира is still your dom. It is still your home. Remember that the Russian word dom means home. Wherever you live, that's your home, your dom. Ну, хорошо. And how about the things around us? Well, just look around you in your classroom. What do you see? Can you identify the things that you see in Russian? Well, right now you are supposed to be looking at your телевизор. Телевизор. And you are also supposed to have a telephone in your classroom. Телевизор and telephone. The two objects that we can identify right away. And maybe you just happen to have a computer right there in your classroom. Компьютер. Телевизор, телефон, компьютер. Right here in the studio on my desk, I have several other objects that I want you to identify in Russian. Итак, что это? Что это? Это газета. Это газета. Хорошо. Что это? Это письмо. Это письмо. Хорошо. Что это? Что это? Да, это журнал. Это журнал. Хорошо. А что это? Что это? Да, это книга. Это книга. Хорошо. And we use a book similar to this for studying the Russian language. Что это? Что это? Это учебник. Это учебник. Учебник. Хорошо. Хорошо. But besides having your учебник, you also need to have pen, pencil, and paper to be able to write down the new words as they pop up on your screen. So let's begin with this. Ручка. Ручка. A pen. Ручка. Ручка. Что это? Это ручка. One more time in Russian. Ручка. Это ручка. Это ручка. Это ручка. Ручка. Хорошо. You are also supposed to have this. Карандаш. 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 Это карандаш. Это карандаш. Что это? Что это? Это карандаш. Это карандаш. Карандаш. Хорошо. And when you are taking notes, you need something like this. And we call it тетрадь. 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 A notebook. This is where you take notes. Тетрадь. 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 Что это? Что это? Тетрадь. Это тетрадь. Хорошо. And now let me see how well you remember these words. Что это? Это ручка. Это ручка. Что это? Это тетрадь. Тетрадь. А что это? Что это? Карандаш. Это карандаш. Карандаш. Хорошо. And now I want everybody to pick up his or her ручка, ручка, or карандаш, whatever you prefer to write with, ручка, карандаш. And you also need your тетрадь, тетрадь, and we're going to write down these words. Итак, let us begin with ручка, ручка. Ручка. And let's try this one more time. Ручка. Ручка. Well, our next word is карандаш, and that's a longer word. Карандаш. 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 Let's try this one more time. Карандаш. Карандаш. And right now you are writing in your notebooks. Тетрадь. 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 And notice this lovely little soft sign. It makes this sound very soft. Тетрадь. Тетрадь. Let's write this word one more time. Тетрадь. And you complete it with a soft sign. Don't forget the soft sign on the word тетрадь. Ручка, карандаш, тетрадь. Хорошо. Хорошо. So now as you look around you, you can identify телевизор, телефон, компьютер, ручка, карандаш, тетрадь. And I hope that everybody has учебник. Учебник. Your textbook. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. So let's continue and we'll talk a little bit about personal pronouns. Right now, you know one personal pronoun. If you have been watching the lessons that introduce the alphabet to you very carefully, you can tell me that pronoun. Я. Я. And what does it mean? I. Я. Я. Just a one-letter word, just like the English I. That's our first-person singular pronoun. Я. Хорошо. So we know я. But what is the plural pronoun? We. Let's look at this. Мы. Мы. That's how we say it. We. Мы. Мы. Notice that it's very short. It's only a two-letter word. Starts with the M sound. And then, yes, we have this, the U sound. So the bulk of your tongue goes back in your throat. And you are saying this unusual sound. U. Мы. Мы. That means we. All of us. Я. Мы. Мы. And let's take a look at these three pronouns. Он, она, они. Он in English means he, она, she, and what does this mean? They. He, she, they. Он, она, они. Now you have to work on your pronunciation carefully. So everybody after me. Он, она, они. Он, he, она, she, они. They. Он, она, они. Хорошо. Хорошо. So you already know я, мы, он, она, они. So we know я, I, мы, we, он, he, она, she, они, they. Ну, хорошо, хорошо. So, let's continue talking about all these Russian words that we have been learning with you. We know quite a few of them already. And today, we will start grouping the Russian nouns according to gender. Yes, Russian nouns are genderized. And it means that a noun is either masculine or feminine or plural. And these are important terms for us to remember. Masculine, feminine, or neuter. Feminine, masculine, neuter. But how can we tell whether a word is masculine or feminine or neuter? How do we determine the gender of that word? And in the Russian language, it's very easy. But now I need you to concentrate. I need you to sit up and listen up. We shall begin with the masculine nouns. Let's take a look at them on the screen. Masculine nouns. Дом is masculine. Студент is masculine. Ресторан is masculine. And парк is masculine. How do we know that these nouns are masculine? Look at the last letter in each word. Дом ends in M, студент ends in T, ресторан ends with an N sound, and парк ends with a K sound. M, T, N, K are consonants. And if a noun ends in a consonant, it's masculine. That's it. Masculine nouns end in consonants. It's very easy, just like that. Masculine nouns end in consonants. And within a sentence, a masculine noun can be replaced with the pronoun on, which is our masculine pronoun, which means he or it. Any masculine noun can be replaced with the pronoun on. And notice that the masculine pronoun itself ends in N, which is a consonant. So we are being very consistent. Masculine nouns are replaced with the masculine pronoun on. Дом – он, студент – он, институт – он, ресторан – он, and парк also on. Masculine nouns end in consonants, and any masculine noun can be replaced by the pronoun on. Just keep that masculinity consistent. Okay, well, we know about masculine nouns. Let's take a look at feminine nouns, and we'll talk about how we identify feminine nouns. Mama is feminine, газета is feminine, Москва is feminine, and Россия is feminine. what brings them together? What makes them feminine? Again, we have to look at the last letter in each of these words. Mama ends in A, Gazeta ends in A, Москва ends in A, and Россия ends in Ya. So our feminine endings are A and Ya. Москва ends in A, it's feminine. Россия ends in Ya, it's feminine too. And which pronoun do we use to replace a feminine noun within a sentence? Она. Она. That's our feminine pronoun, which means she or it. Any feminine noun can be replaced with the pronoun она. Мама, она, газета, она, Москва, она, Россия is also она. Feminine nouns end in a or ya. A and ya are vowels, and they give you this nice flowing sound to these words. Москва, Россия, мама. If it ends in a or ya, it's feminine. Just remember about this. And now neuter nouns. Neuter nouns. How do we identify them? Again, we have to look at the last letter in each of those words. Метро, радио, лето, упражнение. What makes them neuter? Метро ends in O, radio ends in O, лето ends in O, and упражнение ends in Е. O and Е are neuter endings. So if a noun ends in either O or Е, it's neuter. And you know it right away. And neuter nouns get replaced with the pronoun оно. The Russian language has this very special pronoun оно. It replaces neuter nouns within a sentence. When you get tired of saying метро, метро, метро in each of your sentences, replace it with оно. Notice that the neuter pronoun also ends in о. So the gender identification is very consistent. Метро, оно, радио, оно, лето, оно, упражнение, оно. Neuter nouns end in о or е. That's it. That's all you have to remember about identifying gender in Russian. One more time, let's go over masculine, feminine, neuter. Okay, masculine nouns end in consonants. Парк, институт, журнал. Consonants are hard sounds. They sound harsh. They are masculine. Feminine nouns end in а or я. Москва, Россия, книга, газета, мама. And neuter nouns end in о or е. Письмо, упражнение. Neuter. Now let's go over pronouns. Which pronoun replaces what kind of nouns? Let's begin with the pronoun он. Он. It can replace any masculine noun. The pronoun она replaces feminine nouns. And the pronoun оно replaces neuter nouns. Well, time to practice. We will take a look at a few words. You will identify the gender and tell me with which pronoun I can replace them within a sentence. So let's begin with these words. The first one on the list is kot. Kot. It ends in t. It's a consonant. It's a masculine noun. So we can replace it with the pronoun on. On. Cacao ends in o. It means that it's a neuter noun. So we replace it with оно. Next one is theater, ends in r. It is definitely a masculine noun. So we replace it with он. Хорошо, хорошо. Школа ends in a. Feminine. It's a feminine noun. What's the pronoun that can replace it? Она. Письмо. Look at the last letter. Tell me the gender. Neuter. So we can replace it with оно. Оно. And now квартира ends in a. Feminine. Pronoun она. Кот is masculine, он. Cacao is neuter, оно. Театр is masculine, он. Школа is feminine, она. Письмо is neuter, оно. Квартира is feminine, so it gets replaced with она. Хорошо. Well, let's keep on practicing and we will work on these nouns. Again, we'll look at the last letter in a word. Park ends in k. It's masculine, so we can replace it with он. Журнал, masculine, so we replace it with он. Now газета ends in a. It's feminine, and it can be replaced with она. Она. Лето ends in o, and it means that it's a neuter noun. So within a sentence it can be replaced by the pronoun оно. Зима ends in a. It means it's a feminine noun, and our pronoun here is она. And finally, карандаш ends in sh. This is a consonant, so it means that карандаш is a masculine noun. And if we need to, we can replace it with the pronoun он. Парк, masculine, он. Журнал, masculine, он. Газета, feminine, она. Лето, neuter, оно. Зима, feminine, она. And карандаш is masculine, он. Хорошо, хорошо. So as you see, this is not really difficult. You just have to remember your endings, and you have to practice and practice and practice with this. Masculine nouns end in consonants. Feminine nouns end in a or ya. Very nice flowing vowel sounds. Москва, Россия. They are feminine. And neuter nouns end in o and е. Да? Письмо лето, упражнение. These words are neuter because they end in or ye. And masculine nouns can be replaced by the pronoun on. Feminine nouns are replaced by the pronoun она. And the neuter pronoun is оно. Оно. Хорошо. Хорошо. Gender is very important in the Russian language. Not only nouns are genderized, but other parts of speech too. So if you develop a good understanding of masculine, feminine, and neuter, then other things will not be quite as difficult for you to learn. So very seriously and very actively, let's work on masculine, feminine, and neuter. Gender in the Russian language. Хорошо. To get very comfortable and to gain more knowledge about the gender identification, I want you to do your additional exercises after this class and practice not only with the cursive writing of the new words, ручка, карандаш, and тетрадь, but also with gender identification. So please practice, practice, and practice with that. And then write down your homework too. I want you to take your textbooks, Russian for Everybody, find урок номер 1, lesson 1, урок номер 1, page 78, find exercise number 5, упражнение номер 5, and do this whole exercise in writing. Write the answers in cursive. This will be excellent practice for you in writing sentences, not just isolated words, but sentences. So exercise number 5 on page 78 in lesson 1 in your Russian for Everybody textbook. Ну, хорошо, хорошо. Большое спасибо. Thank you very much. И до свидания. See you later.